Hi, it's Thursday night, so we're hanging out here. Sally's over there, and Kris Thomas returning. This is what, your third time?
For Thursday night, my second. Just garbage night, and then tonight.
No,
we went to your house.
That was garbage night.
But didn't we go to her house 2 weeks in a row?
No.
No.
Oh, wait, we were planning on it? We never did?
It kept raining on
Oh,
garbage
right, we were
night.
supposed to go garbage picking with you. That's right, we never did.
We could do a whole show. That's a whole separate issue.
Yeah, I would love
We
to
could
do
do
it.
a whole show now about people getting rid of really good stuff right about now. Because they're hugging it. They're watching that woman hugging stuff. And they're getting rid of great stuff right now.
Well, we just started, and I already don't know what she's talking about. What woman?
You don't know about this woman tidying up? It's like the rage.
Don't all women and most men tidy up? What do you
There's an
mean?
entire... So the woman wrote a book, and the essence of the book was, if you know, as you go through stuff, you should hug it, and if it no longer brings you joy, thank it for what it gave you, and then get rid of it, donate it, sell it, whatever. So she has a show, All the Rage. She follows things a certain way. You've not heard of this?
No, not at all.
Now's the time to hit the thrift stores.
Now. Right now.
Now. Well, I should keep that on the down low. Or the curbs on Tuesday night. I mean, now the getting's good. People are getting rid of good stuff.
All right.
But I digress.
Kurt Knapp has returned.
Hello,
That's
Kurt.
Kurt's second time here. And an old friend, but first time on the show, Steve Cacioppo is here.
Hello, Steve.
Steve's a little nervous, but we're going to make him feel right at home. Give him a shot or something. Not a Hicksville graduate, but all of us grew up in Hicksville, Sally included. We all grew up in Hicksville. But that's not why we're here. We have three great photographers with us here today. Amazing photographers, in my opinion. Kris, she took some headshots of my boy. Kurt's done some work with Knockem Dead Comedy. And Steve smokes cigars. They're just, and I know Kris and Kurt, they have a photography business. You do it on semi-professionally.
I submit taxes, thank you very much.
Well, there you go. Do you have a...
Do you really? You submit taxes? What do you mean?
I pay taxes for
Oh,
my business.
okay.
Yeah.
I got like many, what do you get, those I don't know what the
Yeah,
full-
W-9s and...
Yes, they're coming in now.
Nice, well, that's a good sign, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except,
No, I don't know, that's why I asked.
so you're a freelancer, so, I'm not really, I don't pay them up front, so now I'm going to be paying them in
right.
total at the end.
Yeah.
That's why cash is with my friends.
That's right. So they... great photography, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen all three of you really cover the whole gamut. Wildlife, people, places, right?
Yeah,
You guys,
you're right.
Do you guys...
Or...
Oh, no, all three of you, yeah.
Yeah, there's some things I don't do. Are there some things you don't do?
Yeah, so let's start with that. What don't you
Well,
pick?
I don't do weddings or anything. I have done one or two, which I was very uncomfortable.
Why?
doing. It's very high pressure, and only having yourself or like I had a helper on one.
Yeah,
And it was very stressful, and doing the editing and it's too vast too broad of a scope for me.
Yeah, you probably have to be on top of everything that's going on the whole time. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot. And so I like doing just stuff for myself, selling prints. That's my thing, really.
Sounds like me.
doing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you've done weddings or no?
No, just what he said.
Right.
Selling prints, doing my own thing, wildlife.
I wouldn't want to rely on it for a career. I like doing it on the side.
You liked it, but
Yeah.
but you wouldn't argue if it was right. But
But-
you're just not selling your soul to do weddings. But
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's deeper than that anyway. But
Is it just like the pressure of you don't want to get it wrong? Like it's like their one day or something? Or like it's
No.
just a stressful day?
well,
You know?
for me, I don't want to hate it, and when it's a job, you end up hating it.
but
That's
even
just my opinion.
but you would still prefer the job you have now over photography full time, even if it was.
I didn't say that, but
Right.
it's steady,
But
and I know
I mean,
I'm
if
getting
it was
a pension
weddings,
there,
I
so-
mean, if it was weddings and stuff like that, and you could make a living at it, would you prefer that over a real job, or You prefer the real
Beg
job
your
over
pardon.
weddings.
Yeah,
I think it's a real job.
No,
Well,
yeah,
but
no,
I
that's
went like this, real
Yeah.
job, because
Yeah,
a lot
no,
of people don't consider it, and I go through that myself as
it's
a
an
performer.
artistic job.
Yeah.
like a musician.
Absolutely, and we
Those
get that all
wedding
the time.
photographers are worth, if they're good,
Comedian.
right. Yeah.
Right.
they're worth every penny.
True.
I don't shoot. I've shot 2 smaller weddings. I give them a big disclaimer on the front. It's just me.
Good idea.
Absolutely.
People that's like a separate animal. That's a niche market. That's you really need to just spend your whole everything. You're a wedding
That's
photographer. That's it.
yeah,
And you have a
right.
team.
Right, you have to have a team, right.
And you have to have like a Xanax prescription. Like you're dealing with like mothers and brides, and this is their one day, and you can't miss that moment.
There's no
And a lot of
do-overs.
opinions. Like,
Lots.
oh, I think you should do this. I
Right.
think you should do that. Like for me, I don't want to be like. That's why I like wildlife. Nobody's telling me what to do.
And you're dealing with, and I
Right.
have this when I work events, and again, I've only shot 2 small weddings. You're dealing with the guests, right? So now, 2019, you're dealing with lots of phones in your view.
They could
Like,
be
I
drunk.
need the shot. I was hired.
Right.
I mean, I shot an event the other night, and it was like it was a birthday party, and she's blowing out her candle, and 4 or 5 drinks in, there are people like this in front of me, and I'm like, I need to get the shot. You can have the image when you're done, when they'll share it. Just let me get my shot, and you have to deal with all those personalities.
Well, that's when a lot of them will bring a step stool of some sort too, right? And they'll try to get above, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Well,
you're
I've-
following people around.
I've heard photographers have strict no phone policies.
Oh, really?
Like they'll say that ahead of time.
Yeah.
They'll tell their clients,
Wow.
tell your people to put their phones away. Or
Wow,
they
that's
put away
rough.
shot.
Yeah.
And but you're paying $20,000 for a
Gina Conjemi Coffin's
Hi,
on,
Gina.
Hi, Gina.
and she said that she needs headshots for dogs, like clients that she knows that always ask. Does anyone do dog headshots?
Well, I've shot buttons. I've shot other dogs too.
Gina's dog is doing Fashion Week next week.
Ooh.
She has these miniature Dalmatians, and
Right.
they get
Nice.
hired out every now and then.
Yeah,
Let's
they were.
go. What's her address? We'll be right over.
We should have brought them tonight. Have fun with that. And we could have shot them here.
She's a cappuccino machine.
I did a couple of dog shows.
Yes.
Where I
Yeah.
took pictures of the dogs.
Cool.
I went around events. There were events, yeah. And I was the photographer.
You have
But-
to stand in front of the what do they call that? The repeat thing.
Oh, step and repeat.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
step
all the
and repeat,
sponsors.
yeah.
No.
Right.
They're kind of wandering around, and it could be challenging because they're like, you can't always get a good shot because they're
Sure.
moving. But
Well, that's right. Well,
treats
that's the
are
thing I was going to ask you about too. Sporting events or concerts or events like that, you don't touch that either.
I don't do
Concerts
that.
are really, and I don't think the general public gets it. There was just a guy I'm friends with, Wayne. I'm friendly with him, but he was the in-house photographer at the Paramount, and he would get these killer shots, and you have no control over your subject, no control over your lighting, smoke effects. He has contracts where people would say, you're only allowed to shoot me in the first 2 songs because they
Right.
don't want sweaty shots.
Yeah, we know a lot of photographers.
You
that
know,
have
you're
that, yeah.
dealing with crowds, and he would get these shots. I have a friend, Kelly, who gets to concerts super early. She is a guest. She's a, and she gets these killer shots, and, that's a great feat that I don't think people really understand. You have no control.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no control there. And you're dealing with a moving subject. So
You have to shoot wide open. You have to, crank up your ISO for any kind of.
Light issues. Yeah.
Right, light is.
Yeah.
See, now let me stop you right there. What do you mean you have to shoot wide open? What does that even mean for us laymen?
Well, the aperture on the lens is really wide. You're letting a lot of light in, and I mentioned ISO, which only we would really know. It's a feature on the camera that
Intelligent shit.
I don't even. I forget. It's a standard. It's called.
Operation.
I
I
don't know.
finished it for you.
Impossible
I'm more of an
shitty
artiste.
operation.
I'm not a technical person. I'm more of an artiste.
Well, you're the one going with the ISOs.
But
So it's got to be fast. and
you
do
have
the
to have a
light.
lot of light, and if you don't have a lot of light, you have to compensate. You have to use a quick lens and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
John
Blah, blah,
Marchetti's
blah.
watching.
John Marchetti. Hi, John.
Sarah
302.8. Very
Marquez.
common for that.
Sarah what?
Marquez.
Marchese?
Marchese, maybe.
Hi.
Anthony Guerrero.
Anthony Guerrier.
Yeah.
He was invited. He unfortunately couldn't join us.
Yeah,
tonight.
sorry you couldn't be here,
Another
Anthony.
talented photographer. Anthony was the one at the high school reunion that was taking all those nice portraits.
Sure, yeah. He's
And
great.
he did a super job, and I believe that was all volunteer.
Oh, that's really
He
nice.
took some really great shots.
He's really good, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
He's
Does
really
a
good.
lot of portraits, yeah.
A lot of talent come out of Hicksville, man. Let me tell you. Whether it's photography or musicians or comedians.
And I believe
We got
he's
Billy Joel.
New York Photography Company.
I'm sorry, say again?
New York Photography Company, Anthony's
Yeah.
business is.
Oh, is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Okay.
So you go check that out.
Absolutely. Yeah, Kurt Knapp Photography and Chris Thomas Photography and Digital Arts.
Ooh.
I do a lot of graphics.
Well, all right, that actually was going to be another question too, because I know you do a lot of enhancing and stuff with your photos. What exactly is digital arts? Is it like enhancing like an old time photo, or is it brightening? Is it cropping?
I'm sorry.
Well,
You're
we
talking-
were
I'm asking both of you. Right? Do you do that? You do that as well? Because your
I
photos.
mean,
I
everything
don't know
everyone
what you-
crops. You can crop
Well-
in, even if you're developing old school. You can crop, you can dye,
Well,
you can
right.
burn, you can do all that.
There's always an element of retouching, and you just don't. You know,
No.
you,
Well,
you just
yeah, but
don't.
that's like Chris said. That's old school. But is that what you mean by digital arts? It's just another way. It's just doing
Are
it
you asking
digitally
me?
now.
Oh, what do I do? I could do. So my background is actually retouching. So I started out retouching, and I ran in the digital darkroom at Doubleday. So we would do entire composites. So especially when there's just an infinite amount of stock photography. Let's say sometimes we didn't even shoot things. We would just kind of Frankenstein it together. Like we need a family in a living room, and they need to be a certain age. Everything would be created or pulled. So like I've even shot, and it's super popular now in some places. I don't love it. I did it once where they'll take let's say they take a shot with a child, and then they'll make it like with this lion. So you take this great shot, and then they superimpose this lion, and it's in the jungle. People love it. I did it once I put twins in a hammock. It did look really nice and natural. I didn't incorporate like a dinosaur or anything, but so I do that. I design logos. I'll do like layouts. So I work in InDesign. So I work in the Adobe suite. So I do photo retouching. So I do
Yeah, I should
retouching.
get that picture of my mom that you did.
Yeah, why don't you
And
do that?
show, yeah.
So like if you have an
God.
if you, I've done
Maybe
like,
it was my mom.
I've been retouched. So I'll be right there.
So I'll work in InDesign, which I'll do layouts. Like I could do newsletters. I could do logos in Illustrator and Photoshop.
Thanks,
and
Sid.
then I'll do photo retouching, restoration, things like that.
You pay for that damn
Thank you.
suite every
I
month.
do pay for the suite every month.
So I don't know. If you'll have to
Yeah.
grab this, get it closer, but
It
this,
actually wasn't too bad. I've done ones that were more damaged.
So this is this is a picture of my mom when she was a little girl,
We don't
and
look anything like her.
yeah, and so Cindy had it, but it was, I mean, Kris can tell you the
Was
shape that it was in.
destroyed?
Yeah.
It's always good with old photos. I also recommend, and this is not something like you necessarily need to pay a graphic artist for.
Make it like it's nice
Always
and
make a
soft.
copy
Yeah.
and store the original if you want to display it. Like there's a great restaurant near me, and he has all these amazing World War II photos of his grandpa, and it pains me to go in there because I'm like, you can't just make copies, put the original away.
Like when a photo, I've had photos that are all like older photos that are all creased.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
right,
what that one was.
And
But it
I've
had
restored
like,
them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Photos.
like
A lot of work.
traveled
Yeah,
all
it's
over
work,
America.
yeah.
That thing, just in like a suitcase. So you made
But
it look like beautiful.
If you really focus on it, you'd never know
Mhm.
that anyone retouched
well,
it.
right. That's
Yeah.
because they've been retouching photos like that forever.
Yeah.
But now with technology, computers, is it easier to do that now, or no?
Oh yeah, they used to literally airbrush it with like
Yeah.
your maybe
Oh,
like
is that
my
right? I
parents'
have no idea how they
wedding
did it.
photo was hand painted,
Yeah. Colored.
colored.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how it was colored, and now it's all digitized.
Did you guys do any of that, or you're all? you
No.
never-
No,
I've done it on the
I have
computer.
developed
never
Right.
film.
On the, yeah, I'm saying
Never
the old-
But
Never
now
dark
all digital.
Right. Yeah.
When did you get into it? Like when, like as you're like a teenager, when do you say to yourself, did you just love taking pictures, go to Photomat? I mean, we're all at the age where we went to that little Photomat thing and had like, you know, pictures developed. Were you always interested in really interesting cameras, or were you in your 30s and you're like,
question.
hey,
Well,
you know what?
I don't know about you guys.
I've
but
had a ton of photos. I have boxes of. I was constantly doing film. I was big
Yeah?
into film myself. Yeah,
Really?
I was constantly at those photo mats. And,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Was it like a family thing, or did like teachers help you, or
Right,
did
well,
you
that's
just
right.
love it?
That's what I was going to say. I don't know about you guys, but at Hicksville High School, they had a great photography
I didn't
class.
even know
Like,
about it.
there was a dark room and everything.
yeah, it
man.
must have been nice, but I
Yeah, I
didn't
loved
do
it.
know.
I loved it.
My father did photography,
wasn't guided
so I got
properly.
into it.
Oh,
kind
okay.
of because
You got
of
it? Oh, your father did it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. He had his own dark room and all that.
What,
Oh,
your house?
that's nice.
He had it in his apartment like before I was born.
Oh, okay.
He was doing it for years.
Wow.
In World War II, he
So it's in your blood.
yeah, he was overseas. He was in the South Pacific, and he brought his Rolleiflex. You know the camera. I took it. Yeah, and he would always have that around his neck, and he was like,
Wow.
he took all war pictures. I have them. They're pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Should've
bet that's
brought
really
some,
interesting
but-
stuff
yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's real
I can see
interesting.
like a documentary or something with
Yeah.
that, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
I don't have that kind of pedigree. I come from a line
Pedigree.
I don't know if it's
I
pedigree.
come from a line of people like my father that cut people's heads off when he took pictures. You know, I have 100 pictures of me in front of the Grand Canyon, but you don't know it's me. You see my feet, but not. I got into it
Go.
like late in the film part. Like I just got a little, because film was dying out, and I'm like, oh, I can get a camera for $100 or whatever. And I got into it then, and I went to a party one time with it, and I was actually playing too. And I put my camera down, and it got stolen. So I was like, oh, whatever. And I never really got into it again until digital really started coming around. I guess it was 2005 or so.
was it?
Yeah,
2005?
sorry.
It's all right, no problem.
Another
No problem, it's all
example.
right.
Yeah, around then. And I just taught myself, got into it, started, checking out people on the internet.
Yeah.
Then YouTube
And you have a lot of fun with it. You do a lot of photoshopping.
yeah.
Really, really cool stuff.
I like messing around. A lot of times, just regular stuff is flat to me. I want to.
That's what he says about his women.
There's nothing wrong with a flat one.
No, not at all. Nothing wrong with any woman.
But no, I like to have fun with like that picture I did of you in your living room in your house.
Yeah, let me find that.
I really
I
enjoyed.
love
Well,
that
yeah,
picture.
our Thursday night
Enjoy
with
that.
Tony photo, the cover photo on the Facebook page is Kurt's work.
Yeah, I'll pull it out. I just love that picture. I remember when I first saw it, I was like, he made that for you? Like, I was like touched. Like, it was like.
Oh, I was
you
I was
put
on
so
it.
so
much work
fun.
into
It was
it.
so
Like, I was
nice.
like.
He contacted me out of the blue and just said, I want to come take pictures of you. Okay. And then my brother, damn, he copycatted, right? Did you do that with him? Or did he do that on his own? Right,
With Frank?
Frank, yeah,
Wait,
he's
when
I
always
don't
in
recall. I
competition.
don't think I did anything with Frank. I mean, I've shot Frank and Joanne too. When they play out, but I don't think I did anything special.
All right, so here's
like
what
that.
Kurt did. So here's like the front of the
I don't know if they still-
Thursday night page. So he went to Tony's house and he just took like a whole bunch of pictures of him and then he photoshopped all these pictures in. And you have to look really. I mean, every time I look at it, I notice something different because
it's
even
like a Beatles album cover.
yeah,
There's always
even
clues.
in the
There's all sorts of Paul is Dead clues in there.
even in the pictures on the wall, there'll be like another picture of Tony or something funny. And so every time I look, I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even notice that. It's just beautiful. I loved it.
Just not that I want to let the cat out of the bag, but the next thing I want to do with you is the Last Supper, like with all of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Will I go
Or,
to
you
hell
know.
for that?
Huh?
Will I go to hell for that?
No.
No?
No.
No, sure.
You should.
I'm a minister. You're
You're a
absolved.
minister?
It's
All
okay.
right.
Or
God,
something like that.
God has a sense of humor. She told me. God has a sense of humor.
And Kurt does the just like he was saying. I've seen his photographs on Facebook. He puts them up where like
Yeah.
he'll have himself sitting like there,
Right.
there, and he'll have like 6 or 7 Kurt's all around the room. Those
Yeah.
are really cool, and it looks
Oh,
like
it's
really
One
well
of my
done.
favorite
Yeah.
ones, not that you could find it, but I have myself looking in the bathroom mirror, and the real me is like this,
I know
and the
that
guy
one.
in the mirror
Yeah.
is looking back like, get your shit together.
Yeah,
Kind of trip, you know.
That was a good
that,
one.
That was one of my favorite ones, I
You
think.
should get a picture of yourself from like 1986 or something.
Yeah,
pointing
that's
out of that
just
mirror.
impossible.
Well,
the
somebody
hair.
just did that,
Oh,
challenge
with-
where they had like this young Sylvester Stallone with the old, and
Yeah.
they meshed them pretty well.
Very
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right? Oh,
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I've
very
seen
well
that. It's very
done.
neat. Yeah.
yeah.
This is another one Kurt took, and then of Tony, which
Actually-
I thought was like really good. The black and white one.
Oh, the black and white one.
Yeah, I really like that one.
And here's another interesting tidbit. You purchased a print from me or two,
yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
So
It was,
that's kind of flattering.
Absolutely,
Another
yeah,
photographer buying something.
I saw
Yeah.
it on Facebook. He posted it, and it was like,
It was a lake in Maine.
yeah, and it was a
mountains
the,
in the back. And,
conifers in the back are
Yeah.
conifers, cone bearing evergreens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
but
good.
I was very, I guess, touched. I'm
Sure.
very touched, Steve. Thanks. that you thought enough of my work to that you want
And,
to hang it in your house. It's
believe
cool.
it or not, I still have to frame it because
I knew
he
that.
made it so big that I couldn't like locate a frame. But I will.
That's what Sue says. You made it so big. Do you now? And I've seen you guys in Anthony Guerriero too. Sometimes you guys are on Facebook talking shop. Sometimes, right? So is it a supportive thing, or
Yeah.
does that, or is it just that you guys knew
No,
each
it's
other already?
supportive. Yeah,
Yeah?
it is supportive.
Are there other photographers? Do you guys have some kind of camaraderie like that?
The
or-
thing is,
No, just kind of.
Yeah.
Again, like I said before, it's kind of just organic, right? It's just we
I,
just happen to be friends.
yeah.
Right.
You know, sorry.
that's okay. I belong to a couple photography groups on Facebook, and they're
Yeah.
nationwide. Some of them are even people are not in the country.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a great. People will be like, we've even helped. Like I've retouched some woman, I don't even know her stuff. Like she had a problem with an image, or people will say like,
Mhm.
can you just be kind? Can you get a little criticism? Where can you find these? I think it's a great, great
well,
community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the type of thing where like other photographers, you don't even have to know them. Once you start talking,
Sure.
you'll
Yeah.
help them out.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's it's kind of getting off topic a little bit, but that's one of the things I love about Facebook because you can join pages of whatever interests you, and you get to know other people from anywhere in the world with the same interests, and you talk about those topics, and you gain a friendship from that. I mean, even this, we've had people from England, from Spain, even Russia watching.
Oh,
It's
really?
awesome.
It's amazing. It's
Hey,
amazing.
Russia.
There are drawbacks to those kind of things, and I know we were on one of those photography groups at the same time once.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and I don't know if you've experienced this, a lot of people have a lot of very fundamental questions, but they're presenting it like they're already in business and
Yeah.
they're asking advice for the shoot they have this coming weekend.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're very novice, and they're trying to gain as much information as possible to get the gig done, even though they shouldn't be having the gig in the first place.
They got
And me and Steve have confronted people on that, saying like,
And Anthony, yeah.
you're freaking asking very
It could be
very
annoying.
novice
Wow,
questions,
okay.
and for someone who has a paying gig, it's kind of
Like if you, as an example, if you're shooting somebody's wedding and you're anonymous,
what settings do I use? Or something
and they're
like
asking for
stuff like
settings
that.
and what flash to use,
Yeah.
they don't have a helper. You could ruin someone's big day that way.
Absolutely, sure.
I mean, that should be.
Oh, yeah,
that should be-
pictures are
It's
important.
concerning
Yeah,
because people that have been doing it for a while and have talent and have, if they need a crew, like they're on the ball. If you're asking real easy questions, like how do you put this cap on this bottle, you shouldn't be in business. You
Sure,
know,
of
be a second shooter, be a helper,
Yeah, you should be a helper.
whatever.
Second shooter.
But
That's like Kennedy, second shooter. Do you still have are you using my phone?
Yeah, I was using your phone because I was
Okay.
looking up Steven's photos.
Well,
Are you a tattoo artist as well, or you just take pictures of tattoos?
No, that's not me.
Well,
that might
That's
be
not you?
Well, that-
another someone else that might.
Yeah, that's why I asked because I have
Ready?
because I have pictures on my phone from the three.
Okay,
of them.
good.
And I brought.
Okay.
brought physical.
Oh, you did. You
photos.
brought. You did.
Nice.
Bring.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
all right.
just
So
Great.
that's
Very
good.
nice.
Yeah,
of you.
take them out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
absolutely.
I
And then
did not.
we have
Absolutely.
some of Chris's.
I was
stuff.
hoping you did.
No, I don't really have anything on hand.
Well,
I
I-
did. I literally pulled them off the wall of my house, so it's all my children. But I have other things.
I was trying to find that picture on you. You have so many pictures, which is great, and I love it. But I was trying to find this one picture, and I just love it of yours. It's a picture of your like son looking at a train. Do you know the one I'm talking
it's
about?
right on my front page. It should be very easy to find.
Freaking love
I
that
think I know
picture.
that
it
one.
just like
The, the
touches
two boys,
you.
both boys are
Is it
standing
two
there.
in there?
Yeah,
Well, I don't really like the other one, so.
I know you
I'm
did.
joking.
You're just being a jerk.
All right, let me find it.
Yeah, that's right there on the.
Like
Yeah,
it's
I have-
one of
I have-
my,
You got it?
Yeah,
know,
Okay,
like
good.
I do. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that
I
shot
know.
too.
That's the one I like. Yeah. And you did that in like a.
the train museum in Stroudsburg
Yeah.
or whatever the hell it is in
Now,
Pennsylvania.
does everyone? Let me ask you guys this: does anyone use Lightroom?
I use it.
You
Kurt
do,
uses it all the
and you
time.
find you do. You
I
use it
don't
more than
use it as
Photoshop.
much. No, I don't
No.
use it as much.
And do you find yourself buying presets?
Nope. I do everything from scratch. I start right at zero, and I do all the sliders myself. If I'm doing a split tone, maybe I'll use one of there, but Photoshop though, if I'm doing composites and real like heavy touching up. But
What,
Lightroom pretty much covers it.
All right, I'll start with Chris and we'll just move down. What's your favorite thing to shoot? You know, animals, people.
Oh, me?
Scenery.
I love that I self-diagnosed ADD. I love that I can do in a given month. My variety is huge, so I like that because I can't focus on one thing. But I do have a blast with the tiny little peanuts.
A little
What?
what?
The little tiny
Little
babies.
babies.
Yeah.
Oh, peanuts.
Oh, I
The
was-
little
Oh,
peanuts.
peanuts.
I just
Peanuts.
mush them around, especially if
Yeah.
I have great
You
parents
have,
who are
you
like,
have nice props
"Here's
and
my
all that
baby."
stuff, and
it depends. I mean, I shot a firefighter's baby the other day. So before the shoot, I was like, before I even agreed to do it, I said, "Well, are you gonna let me put your baby in a helmet?"
yeah.
And she said, "Yep." And I said, "All right, I'll be there." And so
Right?
yeah, that was a great
Yeah.
baby. I put her in a gold bowl.
Nice.
You
Cool.
can't tell, but she was a week old and she was 6
wow.
pounds.
She was a week old.
She
Wow.
was. And they were great parents. They were first time parents, and they
You
were
know,
like, "Here you go."
Wow.
There's, I love your photos. Yeah,
That was a great
this one,
baby.
and then this.
You know who that is?
I don't know who.
Oh
that
no,
is.
I thought that was
I don't
Antoinette
think
Biordi.
saw
Oh,
it.
I
Oh,
did
wow.
take Biordi to
Beautiful.
that same field.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
tell
was
me.
just fun on the North Fork.
On the north.
All right. I just didn't want to make you have to go back and
But
forth.
I did take Antoinette to that field, and we had a blast. I took her
That's
out to the
beautiful.
North
She's
Fork
so
the day.
pretty. She just really is.
What about you? Kurt?
So
what do you
that's
prefer
another
to
thing.
shoot?
Another subject is having a good subject. So Antoinette, she's like up for anything. I'll be like, dude, just like I want parents of a baby to be like, I trust you here. Antoinette will like jump on this, stand this way, try this. She's like uninhibited, and that makes a big difference when you have someone. I was shooting a headshot the other day, and I brought up Eric because he was a little stiff.
Yeah,
I knew that he would be. Like
it
he's
was definitely little.
he's really uncomfortable and stuff like that.
But then once he like relaxed a little bit, we're outside having fun. Like the shots were so much more genuine. I don't like
Yeah.
a phony smile.
And that's,
Yeah, like they look.
that's exactly
Yeah, like
the
they have
hard
gas.
part. To
Right.
get people to relax.
Right.
And like candid shots, like catching them when they don't know you have the camera on them.
But
Those
that-
are the best shots.
But that's the thing. That's what I never understood with headshots. Because if you're getting most people are getting headshots because they're an actor or performer of some
Yeah.
sort. So perform, look comfortable, give us a good smile, like because you see that a lot with performers. They can't get comfortable, they can't relax, they can't pose right. It's,
But when-
it's performing.
When you work like with a professional model, they know how to. You
Right,
don't really
exactly.
have to correct them.
They know the
yeah.
poses and
Yeah.
the looks. Yeah.
And they're comfortable in front of the camera.
Right.
Yeah.
You ever do
Right.
that?
Yeah.
Really,
I-
shot models?
Yeah, a couple of
Nice.
like just for fun.
Oh, okay.
You know, not like they weren't in magazines or whatever. But
Right.
people I know. I
Nice.
just did a little thing with them. Yeah.
Yeah, we just showing them
Here's,
one of Zach's shots. The
this
black.
Zach was pretty relaxed,
handsome
right?
young man.
It seemed like it.
You know,
Yeah.
I think part of it too is like a lot of times I will
This is
just
Tony's son, Zach.
Well, yeah, he's.
Handsome boy.
People
He's
from
very
Russia are
American.
watching. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
But like I think like just talking, I'll talk so much when I do a
Right.
shoot with especially
That's
headshots
good.
because
It's important.
I want them to just be like, we're just talking, we're just hanging out. I take them to
Yeah.
some pretty cool walls and we hang out, and I'm like, we just hang out against the wall, you know.
And she gives them drugs too. That always helps.
Like that
You
one
should see her
picture
laboratory.
I have
of
a
Eric
prescription
like
for it.
humping the
cream.
pole. Like I love that shot of him. Like that was like his real shot.
Eric humping the pole.
Yeah, that was the one
That
that
was
when
when
I was
he-
like, now that's Eric.
He finally chilled out after
Like
that,
when he
yeah.
finally relaxed and he was just being his goofy self. I missed this question from or this statement from Anthony because he can't be here tonight. But he was just saying that when he got into it, he borrowed his mom's Canon AE-1 and he said I still have it today. You know, that he just loved it so much.
I remember.
I
that.
still shoot with my and some people make fun of me. My D90, man, they don't I saw him in Nikon. Are you guys Nikon? Or
Yeah.
Canon?
I shoot Nikon.
Yeah, so that D90, I actually want to buy another one. I still feel like it's some of the best shots
It's a
I get.
workhorse too. Yeah.
It's
So-
a great camera. And people will be like, oh, you don't have, like, I just got the 750. But I can always
That's
go to
a
that.
nice one, 750. Full
It's
frame.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, what are we talking? Old film cameras? Is that what we're talking about?
No, just camera models.
Digital.
Right. No, I know they're
Oh, digital.
Turnovers.
Yeah.
It's like
So
every
if it's a
6
D,
months
it's
they
a
come
digital.
out.
Yeah. Right.
I
I
don't
knew they
really
were
care for
models,
that new
but
one.
I
Did you
just-
see the new one? The little
No,
one,
I'm not
the
even.
mirrorless?
I don't even look. I don't even look.
I don't really care for it. So
I'm
they
not,
just came out with like a mirrorless, and it's what all like their ambassadors are using.
Mm-hmm.
So I checked it out. It's a little too light. It's a little too. I'm sure it's. I'm also a big believer in. The talents in like where the talent like it would be like asking a chef like what kind of stove do you use because I'm going to cook that pie and it's not the case. So I know there's people, whether I observe them, I follow them, or I know that with an iPhone will knock it out of the park. There's a man that wrote a whole book, that tree, and he shot a whole he's a Nat Geo photographer, and everything he shot in this particular book was with an iPhone.
Well, we
that's-
recently talked about it, that movie.
The iPod.
Yeah, they
movie.
filmed
iPad movie,
iPads. Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, right.
And that
I know
movie's
that
number one in the
movie.
box office.
Yeah.
And they filmed it all with
That's
iPads.
amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like 1 week or something, but it hit number
Amazing.
one.
Really?
What's your favorite thing to shoot? Because you're, all right, two-part question. What's your favorite thing to shoot? And also, I mean, you must really love the Photoshop and stuff because you get so creative. Do you take pictures with already an idea in mind, or do you do you look at one of your photos and say, oh, you know what, that gives me an idea. I like to have some fun with this.
Well, to answer your first part, I have to say landscapes or cityscapes, things like void of people.
Yeah, I love your nature shots.
Kurt hates everybody.
I do. I love your nature
No,
shots.
don't get me wrong.
I love that.
Oh, right.
Like
It's
there's people there, but not.
Right. Well, it's not like
It's
a portrait.
it's
Right,
very
right.
you're very detached.
Right.
So I like early morning stuff. I like late night stuff. I like
Hang on. I want to
I
show
like a
another.
nature shot.
I want to show another.
I like what do they call
Linda Brown says hello to
long
you.
exposures.
Yeah.
I like stuff where streaking lights are happening.
You're
Kurt's a
into all
streaker.
that.
Like I love this. I love
That's
that.
great.
I love that. You.
And I didn't,
Wow,
and
yeah,
that's
I saw
only
this.
like that because I didn't have the patience to sit through the whole damn thing because it was 4 degrees
Oh my God,
out.
it's so cold out there.
Come on, you gotta be
I
dedicated.
took 4
Sacrifice for the
shots,
art.
and I was like, well, if they're good,
Well,
they're
see-
good. I'll patch them together. And geez, I don't know, but yeah, landscapes for sure. I do like. I love taking pictures of the kids. I love taking pictures of the pets. I'll just lay on the floor for an hour and just bounce
This
off
is
the
yours,
ceiling.
right? That's you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. She said.
I've gotten the cats like with yawning, and you see their full fangs going on.
Right. And this is you, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's a nice one.
Yeah, I love
Utah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
All right. So what?
But I don't do anything special to the. I just juice them up a little bit.
Right. Well,
You
yeah,
know what
they
I'm
like
saying? But
that.
I don't like.
I'm sure there's little
crazy.
work to do.
The sky
on a day
was
like
that blue,
Right.
and the rocks were that red, and so on.
So,
And so
all right,
forth.
now something like this, it's obvious to me. Like you just see something like that. Oh, that's a great picture. So that,
Anybody could do that, like she said. Anybody
Right.
could do that with an iPhone.
but other pictures that aren't as obvious as that. What catches your eye about a scenery or a person's face that you're like, oh, I want to get a shot of that?
It's just kind of
Is it natural or is
yeah.
it? You
For
look
me,
natural as opposed to what?
Is it just? It's just
that's a
natural.
great
Is
shot.
it
I
a
think
natural?
there's moments captured, right? So you're capturing moments. So we
Yeah.
talked about like wedding moments,
Right.
or there's scenes in nature. Like I have a shot of like a bald eagle, like it has a fish in its hand. Like I'm saying, there's some
All
eagles on
right,
Long Island.
I'll give you an
No.
example.
Or
I'll give you an example. Because there was a photo
Okay.
of Steve's. With
like
the
certain
bird
things we
flying.
planned out. Remember when we went that night and it was lightning out? And I'm like, oh, maybe we can get like a portrait with the light.
Oh yeah.
Well, like,
It
a
Yeah.
picture like
doesn't always
this.
pan out, but you have the idea.
But I love it. So I mean, obviously this bird is flying. You're just taking a million shots.
Yeah.
But what?
No.
No?
You just got the one shot?
Some photographers do that. They'll take
Yeah. Click. Stop. and
they'll
open that
take
up a
like
shot
500
that.
shots.
Yeah.
The camera is just rapid fire, like
Right.
8-10 frames per
But
second.
that's not what happened.
And they're
here.
like, no, I don't do it that way.
You're
I
more
follow it,
patient, yeah.
and I wait.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got a shot like that
Yeah.
just from waiting?
Yeah, and that's probably manual focus too.
Yeah, that's
A lot of them like that.
amazing.
But that's still, that's amazing.
But that's the fun of it for me.
Okay.
For me, you know.
But what made you, like what made you decide, oh, there's a bird flying, something we see every day. What makes you decide this, all right, let me get a picture of that, and then get a master shot like that?
Thanks.
Really, it's amazing.
It's half luck. I think it's half luck. And compared to him, I'm the kind of guy I'm gonna do 20 shots in a row.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
shoot a
and
lot.
try to
either
nail
way,
one.
right? Yeah,
A lot of
both processes
yeah,
are amazing.
Like a lot of wildlife photographers, they'll just like some, what was it?
And sometimes you have to.
Some of them will take thousands of shots.
Sure.
Yeah.
Really for one
Yeah.
bird,
Right.
and you got to look through all of them. You got to edit
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just
Yeah.
But what made you? I mean, was the bird in a tree, and you just? Oh, I'm going to follow the bird. See what
Well,
it does.
I knew to frame it that way. Like that's where I wanted it.
Yeah,
Well,
but what made you? What made you want to shoot the bird in the first place? Is what I'm asking.
That's my thing. Like I like to do wildlife.
Oh,
birds.
okay. So you just
Yeah.
your favorite thing is
I went
wildlife.
out
So you,
for bird. Like most of my stuff is birds. A
Oh,
lot of
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
I went out specifically
Right.
with a lens to do birds. You know.
Oh, so all right. So that I didn't even know.
Telephoto
So you,
Yeah.
if something like wildlife, there's a better lens for that as
Yeah,
compared to
telephoto.
headshots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
was-
and
You have
depending
to
on the
be-
headshots, like
Yeah.
if I'm shooting Zach, right? I can use like a fixed portrait. But if I'm shooting like a family with little kids, and I have to.
That doesn't
I'm
work.
shooting a lot because
Right.
a lot of my photos. Oh, I have one.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You know what? I'll grab some.
I have one.
I'll get it.
No, I have it. I think this is it. Ooh, as I smash the sofa. So, like in this one, these are probably three. I'm sorry, Boo. Three. It might even be three different heads because I'm dealing with the little kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm cloning in heads from different shots.
Those your guys?
Are you
They are.
really?
Yeah, I just ripped mine off. So like these heads were probably from three different shots because I'm dealing with like talking and blinking
Right.
and moving and this
But
and that.
it could be a matter of a split second. If you did right, one guy's looking away, one guy's blinking, one guy's eye shut, right?
Yeah.
And you could
It's difficult.
say, okay,
So in
'Cause I've
family
done that.
portraits, I'll need to shoot a lot of the same setup because somebody's gonna blink, somebody's going to move. People love to talk. There's always a
Yeah.
talker. Like they
there's
don't
always a
like,
talker.
and so like I need you to just stay and look at me. So they're not going to. So I'll clone heads.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
That is awesome.
This. Is
Thank you.
beautiful.
So like this one, obviously
painting.
she walked
Yeah.
there. Well, you can
It's
see it here, but the beach had other footprints and stuff. I would
that
take
one.
off on that, but that's pretty much what it was.
And what made you decide to print it on this canvas as opposed to regular glossy
It's
photo?
very painterly. I mean, I'm not looking for crispness or sharp lines. It's kind of
It's
moody.
soft. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
soft.
moody. It's like a
Oh,
little
okay.
girl, moody.
So that's what,
Even this is like
that's what I
moody.
love. I would never think of
And
that.
that's a good
And
point.
everything
You know, like
Sorry.
that. These photos aren't like photography is not about like perfect and like making it perfectly sharp. It's about the mood and like the
this
the
process
feeling,
softens. This
Yeah.
process softens an image, so you're not going to see eyelashes when you do a canvas. Let's
Okay.
say.
But you don't see those types of details yet. But doing it this way, it adds to it.
Yeah, it's part of the feel. Like even
Right,
a frame.
yeah,
if
it's
you
a feel.
talk to a framer, or if you have a good framer.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I've
again,
worked
never
with
even
framers that are like, they really put a lot of thought into, and they don't frame for like, oh, it matches your house. They frame for the image. They're going with a mood, with a feel.
Right.
You know, just like an interior decorator will be like, no, this is a whole vibe we're going for.
Yeah, and like a frame
They
like
can't
that
have
showing off
Southwestern with
the photograph.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you sold that just the print to someone and they put it in their own frame, it might not be the right frame because
Okay.
the framer has an eye for it.
Sure.
That's what they do.
And even the process, like I'm loving these metal prints. Have you seen these?
Yeah.
So like a lot of mine are baby. Let's say it's my baby shots or my
They're
communion
amazing.
shots. That's not really conducive to a metal frame, right?
What's a metal shot? I don't even know what that is.
They
It's like
they
the
print
actual
the
picture
image
metal.
on a piece of
Sheet
metal.
metal.
It's printed on metal.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like really high reflective.
It's
It's
expensive
got like an
to get it
industrial
done.
I would
feel.
think so, yeah.
It's very modern.
Yeah.
So
And it's
and you just hang it. You don't
yeah,
have
it's
to
not
frame
framed,
it.
right.
Like,
No,
some
I
of you like
wouldn't
that, except without the wraparound. You
it's
know?
a
We're
nice
not going to
sharp
the-
looking.
into
So
the
I have a friend that
thousands.
just shot some aurora boreal shots, and I was like, you got to
Awesome.
put that on metal. It's gonna
Yeah.
be hot.
Getting back to your original question, I think certain photos lend themselves to certain styles. Like when
Okay.
you're editing, you say, well, all right, you got babies, you want it to be soft.
Okay.
And,
Yeah.
you know, if you have a construction worker, it's going to be gritty and sharp and rough.
Okay.
You know, where the hell was I going with that after that? But you kind of tell as you're editing, you say, okay, you want a certain feel. Like that one of the boardwalk at Coney Island. I sat there and I'm looking at the raw file and I'm like, I like the picture, but it's beat, you know, what am I going to do with this? And I ran it like I did HDR with it and all.
Yeah.
Because it's not, if that was a person, it wouldn't look, unless that was what the client wanted or I was going for that look. But you do certain editing techniques on certain types of photographs.
Okay.
You know, like if you're doing still life with flower or something, you want everything to be in focus. You want everything to be nice and
Right.
sharp and crisp.
Sure. Yeah,
But then
yeah.
you're doing a picture of a baby and a bunting, so you know, it has to be soft.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have
Nice.
different lenses also. Like
Yeah.
like for portraits, you might not want a lens that's too sharp. Some of these lenses
wanna
are like
blow out.
so sharp. They're
Depends.
great for wildlife because you want a
If you're
bird
young and beautiful,
really sharp. But
Think
for
about
a person,
Sybil Shepherd and Moonlighting. Remember they would go to her and they would
It
always
would
be
be
like
soft,
Vaseline
yes.
on the lens.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate a soft lens.
right?
But someone else could use a sharper lens.
Right.
Yeah, it all depends.
All right. Now a shot like this, which I love this.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
I didn't even know you had that. Wow.
Yeah,
That's in
I do
Pennsylvania.
my research.
Yeah. You really do.
But what? So a shot like that, how do you decide to say what angle to
Well, that's
that works?
composition. Excuse me.
Yeah. It's just
Kurt knows his stuff.
yeah.
He sounds very educated.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, what like as opposed to standing right in front of it and taking a shot, like what
Can
makes
I
you
see
decide to take it from?
He
This
wants
is one
to
of
see
yours.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
sure, I
like-
hope it's one of yours.
I can't believe you have it. That's why I almost
I
I
stalked
took
it.
that
Now
a
you
while
know.
ago. Yeah.
I was actually standing right
In a
behind
good
you,
way.
and I took that myself.
What do you have with work in your briefcase? I'm
Yeah,
curious
yeah,
what you brought.
absolutely,
Oh, these are that's your phone. These
Yeah.
are birds, mostly. Tony told me to bring them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Bring anything, right?
Yeah, why not?
But I knew Kurt wouldn't. That's why
That-
I grabbed a bunch of his
that
stuff.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. Dragonfly.
And you have to
Oh, wow.
mention, Steve, that you use vintage lenses sometimes.
Ah, yeah,
Or
a lot
older,
of the times, yeah.
older lenses, anyway.
And
Wow.
that's
Nice,
that's in Glen Cove.
Nicely done, Steven.
Thanks.
I
Did you
need
see
to. I
these
need
in the
to have.
sleeve?
Yeah, I wanted
Are
to
they
take 'em.
okay?
Oh,
Oh,
you
okay.
take
to have
Yeah.
portfolio. That's beautiful.
Oh, that's amazing.
Break them out, man.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, don't be shy now.
This one's in Glen
Going all
Cove.
the way.
Very nice.
This is nice.
I love that.
I really like
What are
this
you
one.
using on these, generally speaking?
Yeah,
That's very nice. I like
that's
that.
That's a 300 millimeter with a 2x teleconverter,
okay.
an old manual Nikon. That one. Yeah, I got this.
Beautiful.
So you're shooting this? This is film. This is film.
No, but the lens is
Okay.
an old lens adapted to the
Okay.
DSLR.
Yeah, see now this one I'm gonna critique. Because you have,
Well,
you
that's
have
why I
all
didn't
that
take that
banding.
one
Yeah,
out.
okay, I got
Yeah, I
it.
was
You
like,
can put it back.
Oh, you're not going to show that one.
Ah.
yeah, and I have to tell you
I
guys,
don't mean that in a bad way, dude.
No, I
You
know.
like I'm seeing
You
these
didn't know
pictures
when you
through
printed it.
Facebook, and where like these are such crisp, beautiful pictures, and it's no justice on
Yeah,
Facebook
because
it seems so
glare.
like. It
Oh,
seems
right.
So that's
dark.
another
Yeah,
thing too.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
internet
Difficult over the
screens
Yeah, like
are
this is so
very
beautiful.
low resolution.
Plus the glare of that what I
yeah,
put
so
in
they're in
there.
the sleeve.
Like this is
Hard
such a
to-
beautiful picture, but it
Which
looks.
one?
they're really nice though, Steve.
Thanks. Yeah, that's one of my
Yeah, I
favorites.
love it. Yeah.
That's a
and
nice
it's so
matted.
like you could see every little feather like when you look at it
That's an
not
old
on
Nikon
Facebook.
for you.
So
Gray lenses.
sorry, it's not doing your
Manual
work
focus.
justice. You know,
That's
but
alright.
it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And now, so you went. So we're all Hicksville guys, but you also went to SUNY Farmingdale, right?
Yeah, for horticulture. Yeah,
For what?
horticulture.
Oh, horticulture. All right,
Yeah.
that's actually why I was asking. So
Art
I actually stupidly went there as an art major, which I don't know what I was thinking. It's not an art
But
school.
they
They
had
have
a
a great
decent
horticulture
advertising
department.
program.
Yeah.
What's that?
You were so
I
pretty.
felt like they had a decent
Oh, you went there
advertising.
too?
I did not go there.
Oh.
But I know
That's
when
right.
I was going to New York Tech, that was like our competition for Long Island advertising design.
SUNY Farmingdale was?
They set up a similar system to what we had where you worked for free for local not-for-profit, so you had some pretty good real-life experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think much of it, and although I flunked out, but it was just stupid of me to. I don't know. I just felt it was stupid to go there. It really didn't seem like much to me, and they're not known for that. You know, they're known for
Yeah, they have a
for
beautiful,
that type of stuff. And,
beautiful garden and greenhouse stuff.
Yeah.
You were probably there.
Which
right?
I love shooting
I've never been there, no.
No? Oh,
Oh, really?
I love shooting
Yeah.
in the Farmingdale Garden.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've
Wow.
done it on several occasions.
Yeah, that's
Like-
another that's
Soon-
another thing. Flowers. We both. I'm sure you do 'em, but him and I see
Yeah.
his work. on
Yeah.
Facebook. I love doing flowers.
I like
macro
doing the
shots
macro
up close.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten nearly as good as I want to be doing it.
You're just trying to get close to them so you can see if you can smoke any of it.
Yes.
I know you. I know you guys. So, now, you guys, all three of you, have sold work, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's well, like first time you did it, we were like, "Holy shit, I'm professional now."
Oh my God.
It feels
I
good.
booked a
Yeah.
wedding. I
Yeah.
think it was like 8, maybe 10 years. I'm trying to think how old Miles is. So it's 11. It might have been 10 years ago. Someone came to me. They're like, "No, you're gonna do my wedding." It was like, and it was a pretty decent wedding, and it came out good.
Nice.
And I had like this whole conversation, like, really? And she's like, no, you can do it. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember they paid me up front, and,
Nice.
but pressure.
Yeah.
You
must have been.
I
came out great.
I did Janine and Paul's. You know Janine and Paul Yip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Paul
I
personally.
did
know who he
I
is.
did their wedding, and like I said, it was stressful. It was awesome. They were awesome, but you know, Janine and her father are coming through the thing, and I clicked the shutter, and the flash don't go off, and I'm like, no, don't hold on.
Go
like
back.
it's hard to stop people.
Yeah.
You only get
Yeah.
one chance,
Yeah.
right? And you know, when I left there, I was the hottest mess in the world. I was sweating. I was disgusted.
Well, you
You're
were,
And
Exhausted.
they loved
Yeah.
what I did.
Exhausted.
But I was like, this will be the first and the last. And I did one other event like that. It was similar to a Sweet 16, but it was called a cotillion, and it was the people were from the Philippines or something, right?
Yeah,
No,
maybe
it's
that's
very
right.
fancy. Like
Oh,
it's
I don't-
it's
what-
grander than a wedding. Like
Oh,
they
wow.
must have spent.
Yeah, it's a big
ton.
deal.
right? And
They
they're
do it in
18 instead of 16.
Mexico too, don't they? It's
Pardon?
it's a
They
really
do
big
like
deal.
a quinceañera.
Yeah, it's like that.
15,
Oh, that I
it's
know.
like a
Yeah,
wedding.
like,
Same thing.
Indian
And the
weddings are
kids
huge
that
with
were
the
involved, they had
dresses
this like
and
whole dance
elephants.
thing going
Yeah,
on.
they're
And,
like,
that was very stressful, but it was a decent payday.
Right.
But again, delivering the photos
The goods.
was, you know.
bring the goods.
Well, when I first
and the
met
people
you,
like,
Do you remember when he shot the photos here of
It was
us?
the first time I met you. You came here and you took shots of all the Knockem Dead comedy
I think you
people.
lost 20 pounds that day.
And it was a hot day anyway, but you were like freaked. And remember, like I'm like, Tony, I don't even know this man, and I'm just walking up to him with cold towels, and I'm putting him on his head, and he's like, "Thanks, darling," and I'm like, "Okay," and I'm like wringing out hot
you were the best.
towels
Well,
and
I
walking
think it
back and
was-
forth, and I was
You were
just
my
like,
best friend ever that
you were
day, I'll
taking
tell you
shots,
that.
and I was like on your face to make it better. You like it was like dripping in his eyes. Like your sweat was like dripping through your eyeballs as you were taking
Oh,
shots.
yeah.
I think that's why he was sweaty. He was in your presence.
Yeah. Well, that was number one,
So-
but you were instantly my best friend right then and there. Like, I was like, oh. I
Does
love
he
her.
or does he not attack you every time he sees you?
I love
Love
him.
her.
There you go. And so can you for
We were
1995.
made for each other, just not in this lifetime, I guess.
Oh, you know, we're all Hicksville guys here, or girls, but do you think, and I don't know, maybe this is a stupid question, but do you think our upbringing in a town like Hicksville has any, because there's a lot of musicians and
Yeah.
actors and photographers, artists that came out of our
I do think it has a
school.
lot to do with it.
But
It's
what?
so-
Like,
because it was so boring, we looked for like other activities.
I do think that being bored is super important.
Were you
Yeah.
guys bored in Hicksville?
I was so
Yes.
goddamn bored.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
you have to remember, Brian was 4 years older than me and
Right.
huge. So
And he was never bored.
he was never bored, but I was alone. My parents were exhausted and old.
Oh yeah,
So I was like,
especially after him, I'm sure.
yeah.
I'm surprised I had another kid after him.
Well, I'm always a surprise party. So I do remember, like, and I didn't live close to really there was no one my age that lived super close, so it was like I had a lot of downtime on my own. So I'm a big proponent of being bored. Like, I take my children, the me mom, I take their electronics away in the summer and make them go
Good. I like it.
outside.
You're a Dutch Lane guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
with Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
went to
where'd
school
you
with
grow up
Frank.
over there?
Right
The
in
B
the
section?
Yeah.
A section.
Oh, you're in the A
By
section?
Rim
Yeah.
Lane and all that.
Yeah, because I was in the A section, and that's why I asked, because I wasn't bored at all. I loved that neighborhood.
Oh.
There was
Oh,
kids
yeah,
all over
when-
the place.
When we were little kids, but once
Like high school.
into the teen years, high school,
yeah.
it got a little boring.
I was Woodland Avenue, so I had like J.C. Penney's in the bowling alley. You know, where like
Oh, the
Woodbury
bowling
Road
alley.
and
I
like
think
South
they were
First
very
You had to
Bay.
be old
So
enough
I'm
to
like,
get to
I
the
guess I'll
bowling
go
alley.
play Miss Pac-Man again.
Well, yeah, she was on Miller.
Well, the bowling alley
Yeah.
was awesome, but you had to be. For me, I had to cross Woodbury.
Yeah.
Right.
They,
It was a
I
great
I
area.
crossed
Yeah,
Woodbury
Rainbow.
from
Oh,
like
yeah, I love
7
Yeah,
years
I love
old.
Woodbury.
Growing up,
Yeah.
it was great.
I loved it
But
too,
there
yeah.
were, we'd get bored sometimes.
And actually, I would think.
I
your
don't think
area-
it has anything to do with what we're doing now, though.
No, you
I
don't
think,
think
I
it's
think
just
the only
not a-
reason we know is because we're on Facebook and everyone found out what everyone's into. I don't think it was like bred that way, like I don't know.
All right, relax. It's all right.
No, I'm not relaxed. I'm trying to articulate. But the way you worded the question, like, can you say it again?
I just asked if you think our upbringing in the same town has anything to do
Made
with.
us be musicians and photographers and artsy kind of people.
I don't know about made us be, but had anything to do with it.
I do. Because, well, for like, when I started doing photography, I did it at the beach a lot. And I think it's just like, ride around in my car.
All right, so that's
See
not a
it.
Hicksville thing. That's a Long Island thing.
Yeah, it's more Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think
that's
it was you.
true.
You mentioned Billy Joel before.
Yeah.
He talks about that all the time. He considers himself an Oyster Bay guy because even as a teenager, he would work his way up to Oyster Bay and worked on ships and
Lives
stuff.
there, too.
Well, now he lives
Yeah.
up, I think Center Island or something. But that's what he identified with. So it's not really a Hicksville thing, right?
Antoinette's watching.
Antoinette's watching.
Antoinette's
She
watching.
is. I thought you had an event. She had a fun event I couldn't go to with her.
Antoinette.
As
Oh,
you
you
know,
weren't her +1 today?
I had to turn it down because I had a I had a previous.
You turned down Antoinette for me? Wow.
Nice.
We have another. We have plus one tomorrow. We have something tomorrow.
You-
Once again, I signed up.
News
for-
12? You guys are familiar with News 12? Or
Yeah.
you have Antoinette Biordi, who's like one of her best friends.
Oh, wow.
She
Oh, that's
is, yeah.
That's
She's,
all right.
Say that.
she's Chris's
Okay,
best friend.
so
We
Antoinette.
say it on the radio show all the time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
But Kris is too.
Yeah.
it's like so thick, but Antoinette came to my gym and it was like my
Oh.
friend that was at the gym forever. This what I seemingly confident.
And what gym would that be, by the way?
I'm not giving them a plug. I pay.
You won't see Kurt out there with his camera that day.
So that like he was like he got all flustered from it. I actually have a picture. I took a picture of him all flustered with Antoinette. I was like, and he's like moving her weights. I was like, hey, the A cup never gets her weights moved for her.
You're my favorite.
Thank you.
I've told you that for years. I've been telling you that.
No, I mean
So-
nobody's better than Elisa though. Come on, she's just
Even pregnant,
she's the
beautiful,
most
right?
precious thing ever. She's
Has
so
she had the
cute.
baby yet?
No.
No.
Well, maybe she wasn't on there today.
Yeah,
Stephanie
she
Rose was
wasn't
on
on
today.
today.
Well, Antoinette would know. Ask Antoinette.
Yeah,
Did
Antoinette.
Elisa have
She
her
would
baby?
be doing the morning. She'd be working
She's
tomorrow
so
morning.
sweet.
About a week ago, I was thinking, yeah, she's ready
Yeah,
to
she looks
pop.
like she's ready to pop. Yeah. What?
Yeah. She should hand me that baby. I'd take great pictures of
There
it.
you go.
Oh, she said not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
What? Name a time that you were anywhere. Name a time where you wish you had
Right
your
now.
camera. Like, yeah, right.
I'm here.
Were you a moment where you were like, shit, I wish I had my camera with me at this time.
Yeah, do you just carry it with you everywhere? I would.
No.
Well, I have my phone.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
the phone.
Phones now. I actually buy phones. I don't care about technology, but I do. As the cameras improve, I will buy a better phone.
Right.
And the phones are really good in the camera.
Oh yeah.
They're great.
I can answer that question, but it wasn't a matter of the camera. It was a matter of which lenses I had with me.
Oh, okay.
And now it come to bird photography. I was at Fort Tyrone Park in Manhattan over the summer, and I was just horsing around, carrying my camera, taking pictures for fun.
Yeah.
And I had a 135 millimeter prime on the camera.
Nice.
Yeah, an old Nikon. And I see a bird of prey. I could tell. I thought it was a hawk, and I'm just like, I took a few shots and forgot about it. And then later on, when I got home, I went on the computer and I zoomed in, and I saw it was a American eagle.
Oh wow.
Bald eagle. That's
Bald eagle
great.
with the
yeah.
white head and the beak.
Awesome.
And even when I was taking the shots and I thought it was a hawk because it was so far in the distance, I was thinking to myself, oh, I wish I had a 600 millimeter on the camera right now.
All right, but
So
now,
it's a matter of the lens and that.
but is that something you'll just, as a photographer, notice? And if you showed me it right now, a guy who knows nothing about it, I'd be like, oh my god, what a
You
great
think
shot.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
No, but it's the difference between having something this size on a picture this big
Yeah.
or something this big on a picture that big.
What? And
Is
then
the lens,
but zooming in on the computer takes away.
it
takes
it
away.
degrades
Because
it,
you just
Yeah, degrades the image.
so then it's
Right.
just you're blowing up resolution. It's only so much information. You can't create it.
Right.
So
Okay.
It gets
it's
pixelated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right?
all right.
You can't just blow up on a computer.
And I'm not talking about sex. What? Name a moment where you wish you had your camera, other than I'm sure he wishes he had his camera in bed all the time.
That's true.
Something
That's true.
specific. I can't pinpoint.
Really?
I mean, all the time. I'm always on alert. I'm on full.
Yeah, but there
alert
wasn't
all
one
the
moment
time.
where you saw something or at a concert or something where you were like, man, I wish I had my camera for that.
Who shoots at concerts? You
I
guys
want
shoot
just-
at concerts?
I don't.
I
don't know
I
anything.
shoot. I've shot. Ugh, I've shot.
Shot?
Good English.
I've shot.
Shot.
I've shot.
I have shot.
I've shot.
Local stuff, and again, like you said, it's really difficult. But I think I did damn good for someone who doesn't really like. I don't have a specific thing that I do, but I opened up wide. I got in. I got dirty, and it was something like I didn't have any restrictions. I was able to go up on behind stage, take a shot.
Yeah, I mean, if
you
you
know,
have access,
yeah,
I don't
it's-
want to
oh,
carry my good stuff to I'm not going to go in the pit.
Yeah,
right,
And,
Sure.
Expensive lens.
Right.
But no, I don't really, the other morning it was really like blood red for like 5 minutes, 5
Yeah,
or
you
6
posted a
minutes.
quick
And
picture.
I
Saw
did it
that.
on my phone through my windshield, and I was like, well,
Right.
I have something to document it, but it doesn't it can't. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't compare.
Right.
It won't compare.
But something like
like
that,
she
you're like,
said-
fuck, I wish I had my camera now. No?
You know, every time I don't have it, I see something.
Oh, yeah?
You know, so I would say all the time then.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
But
specific.
there's not one moment where you're like, this is a
No.
once-in-a-lifetime thing?
No, like I wasn't there when they, blew up the Cacioppo Bridge or anything. Like, ooh, I wish I had my camera. You know?
Right.
Sometimes, like if there's a pretty lady, you might want to get in the distance. You need a telephoto.
Well, then that's a whole.
Just being
that's,
honest.
that's just.
That's
you
what
know,
the binoculars
That's-
here are
Yeah.
for.
Oh, all right.
That's a whole other subject.
I think, sometimes maybe if I were to answer that, it would be like, sometimes I do see a value in capturing moments that are uncomfortable. Is that weird for me to say?
No.
Like,
No, because they're honest.
That's
I love that.
I love
I love
that
that
too.
too.
I don't like the typical portrait. I love
Yeah.
like this.
No,
if
like,
they had a picture of us talking right
if
now,
someone-
that's natural.
Right.
Natural.
Yeah.
let's just say in my own
Candid.
family, I've taken pictures of funerals, and people think that's weird. But I
No,
have
because
pictures.
you're capturing such a moment. I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't be offended. I would be like, you're capturing a real
It's fine.
moment.
I think as a photographer, I understand. As a person, I think it's the most morbid thing in the world. Because I know, like, it's popular in Hispanic culture.
In London,
that they-
in England, they capture.
right,
They
so, like,
hire photographers.
yeah.
and
As a regular civilian, I think that's the most bizarre thing.
Well,
But as a
pictures of the
photographer, I
person who
understand.
passed or the family who is grieving.
For me personally, like there are certain moments I regret, or I'm happy I took at family funerals.
Yeah.
And I will have to say, since you brought it up,
Bring it up.
your brother.
Yep.
Not only was it, because you go to a lot of these funerals and you're like, oh, it doesn't even look like him, where it didn't even look like he was made up. It just looked like he was laying there. Plus, he had a smile. He had a smile on his
He had like a
face.
smirk on his face. I did
I had
take
never
pictures.
seen that before. I had never seen that
That's
before. I
awesome.
actually did a double take, right? Like, because even
Like, did
even
you
at
move?
that point where you have to wake at a funeral home, it would not be beyond her brother to pull a prank like that. So I really did. I did a double take. Like, holy shit, he fucking put me on. I swear to God, I did that because he was actually smiling.
Yeah, and I took pictures of him.
You did take pictures of that.
I did with the thought of the children are young and perhaps they might need that later. There's also, or I
don't
took
think
pictures
it's bizarre. I really don't. And I think like
Yeah, but you're bizarre.
like speaking like from like being Irish, like Irish wakes, like you're there.
Well, because Irish
it's
wakes,
a
you're getting drunk and you don't
celebration.
remember, so you need
Yeah.
the picture.
And
That's
also,
nice.
like my grandfather was a photographer, like a hobbyist, but great photographer. And back then, he has pictures of all of his family. He took pictures of all. That was tradition. They all have pictures in the casket.
Really? I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And you'll look it up historically. It wasn't an unusual thing.
Wow.
Even when they were laid out in the home.
Well,
But
now you
even other-
mention that. I'm
yeah.
sorry to cut you off, but now you mention that, like, there are pictures of, I think it's Abe Lincoln and
Absolutely.
Uh,
They took
after-
all.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
it is out there.
Because
yeah,
also
it's
you
like
have to
it's-
remember, people travel wasn't as easy as it was, so that's how people had closure from a picture, and they couldn't let those bodies sit there for that long.
Right,
right.
They weren't embalmed,
That's a good point.
and
Yeah.
so they did pictures. Almost everyone got a picture. Like my grandmother, I remember my
Definitely.
grandfather
Like the
taking
song.
the pictures of my grandmother in the coffin, and it
Wow.
was not unusual. But also, a couple things. There were moments at the funeral I either didn't capture and I regret, or I did capture and I'm glad. Like when we drove past his house and there was a bagpiper in the driveway.
Yeah.
Or when the road was closed. Thank God.
That was
I mean,
amazing.
that
I'll
was a
never forget
moment.
that.
Jamie, they shut the
LAE,
Southern
the
State.
LAE.
Oh yeah, the LA.
The LA
Or
was
like
shut
at my
down for her
my
brother.
dad's,
Wow.
they shut his bagpiper. Like I'm glad I have those moments. And then,
I remember I actually took a picture of it while we were driving. We came off the expressway, whatever exit it was, but there was
You knew him, right?
there was a
Yeah.
veteran. As soon as you came off the
Yes.
service road and made a left,
Saluting.
there was a veteran
Went to
saluting on the side of the
Totally.
road.
It was
And
funny.
he was like that stereotypical
Well,
veteran with
yeah,
the tattoos
yeah,
and
it
the
was hilarious.
Yeah.
the baseball hat with an army thing, and he was just standing there saluting. I grabbed my phone out and took a picture
and
of
even
that.
that crazy casket thing that he was in. It was like a
Oh,
carriage.
it was a guy on a
on
motorcycle.
a motorcycle, right?
They didn't have a hearse. It was a guy on a motorcycle with
Like
a
pulling
hitch attached.
See-through trailer.
Yeah, with the trailer with the coffin inside.
But there's even
Crazy.
and I would absolutely do it for families. Like I I think I'm pretty open. I think like some of my jobs I get because I think I'm a little bit like open and sensitive. Like I do, and I'm pretty patient. So like I do. But anyway, there's this organization. It's called Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. I have not worked with them, but I get what they do. And if somebody either delivers a term,
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah. And that's really a gift. You know, even if no one ever opens those pictures, it's just like a gift that photographers can give back. And I think like it might seem morbid to other people, but you know what? Unless you walked in those shoes, and if it has comforted one parent, like it's obviously done enough that they've built this organization for it. And it's, I just did a retouching job that people were like a little bit like, ooh, you did that? And even when I agreed to do it, I was like, okay, I'll do it. And then when I completed the job, I was like taken aback. And I remember like I normally Dropbox my images, my stuff, or if it's one or two files, I'll email it to my client. And this one I didn't want the mother. It was I retouched people who had passed, children who had passed, into a photo with the surviving family, so that they were all at this moment together. So it was a family portrait of all of them. So I wouldn't deliver it via email. I didn't want the person to see it, and I'm not really good at like receiving anything, gifts or accolades or whatever. But I really got a lot of good feedback, and to me it was worth every second I spent on it. It really was helpful. It was therapeutic. And if we can do things like that, I think, you know, it's pushing the boundaries and it's things that might be uncomfortable, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you went out of your comfort zone for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And what you mentioned, going out of your comfort zone, I like to do that with my photography. You know, like things I normally wouldn't do, I like to push a little bit and say, you know, it's like just be spontaneous.
Sure.
Also.
Which is the case with most art, I guess, right? Music, right? I guess it would be the same, right?
Yeah, I mean, photography for me, I don't even generally plan it. Like, it usually just comes, like, I'll just be sitting there and I'll be like, ooh, I want to take a picture of this bottle.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, you know? And then I'll spend 2 hours doing it, and then I'll be like, no.
And then another 4 hours with all the
Or
Photoshop
you know, in the better situations when I actually leave the house and like when it's dark still in the morning and I get to where I need to go before the sun comes up and I do things like that, that's when the spontaneity is good for me. It's therapeutic for me.
And then I do this thing where I think Kurt does it also, where I'll go out purposely to like a boring place, like a place that just there's really not much there, and I'll go with the camera and
Like a
I'll look
Knockem.
for something interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you should be able to almost make anything into art.
Yeah.
No,
in a way,
that's cool. That's
in
cool.
a way, not
Yeah.
almost, you know.
Right.
You have some sort of creative vision.
Yeah,
you know,
creative vision, different take on something.
Right.
You know, it could be like could be anything. Like you said, the bottle,
Sure.
or that plug on the wall. It's all about the angle and
Right.
how close up you are. Kurt does a lot of that.
Yeah, he's very
yeah,
good.
like the freaking the spigot on the side of the house. Like,
yeah.
you know, I'll sit there and be like, oh, you know, with the brick, and it's like it's silly, but some people dig it. Some people look at,
But it
some
goes.
people
it
look
goes
at it and like,
beyond.
cool.
No,
you know.
sure.
But to get off that topic, I'm on the worst creative slump in history.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
God.
You know why? I know why. Because you shaved that mustache.
I knew there was a joke coming.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
It was almost like a Raleigh fingers thing
man,
going on. You were trying to make that happen.
Yeah.
Were you going for the wax? To like?
Oh, I have the wax and everything.
Oh, you did, yeah?
Not one day, like 3 or 4 days in a row, this side just like kept sagging down. It wouldn't curl, wouldn't do anything.
Just like
And
your
I was
penis.
Can't have
fuck
that.
this. But it was the first time I ever tried growing. Pardon?
There's medication for that. She
Yeah.
said.
Well, It was
This
like
is a
it was
late
like
night
I had
show.
my mustache had a stroke on the wrong side of the thing. It's on the right side.
So Eddie, how are you gonna get yourself out of this slump? Out of this writer's block?
Oh, don't you think the
Writer's
season will
block, yeah.
change? The season's changing.
I
Yeah.
hope.
Oh God,
Absolutely.
it's like I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it goes into spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Well, for you,
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're talking flowers,
yeah.
the Philly
Oh,
flower
sure,
show, that
sure.
would be great for you.
Antoinette has a question.
Yes, Bjords.
She wants to know, do you guys get annoyed or upset when you don't get credit for taking a picture? If
Ooh.
it's published somewhere and it doesn't have your name on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
You know, because you know how much a credit costs to give? Free. Just give a credit. Just
Yeah,
a credit.
exactly.
It costs people nothing
Yeah.
to
Good
give
point,
a credit.
yeah.
So
and,
yeah.
And you know what's funny is like, you were mentioning before, with Facebook and the internet, whatever you're on, Instagram,
Sure.
you could follow people around the world, and I do that. I have photographer friends around the world, and I don't like know them, but you start to know them, and you like communicate and this and that. And now I forget what I was saying. What was?
Well,
Maybe you
I-
saw. Did you see one of your friends' work or something that somebody else used or
Oh,
something?
that's what. Yeah,
oh,
that's the point of.
terrible.
I was bringing up the whole point. No, not so much that, but I'll take their work and I'll put it like you probably maybe you saw it. I don't know, but I'll put it on my Facebook page and I'll give them
Oh,
of course
I see what
the
you're saying.
credit,
Yeah,
Okay.
and the link. Yeah.
the link and
absolutely.
the credit because you know I think that's a good thing about photography too. It's like one big club.
Right.
I think
Sure.
from my perspective.
I-
Everybody might not think that way, but
I like people that are helpful and that are willing to share and not
Yeah.
so worried about like listen, I post my pictures on Facebook at maybe I don't know 800 pixels wide maybe. If anyone's stealing that for any reason, like go ahead. Like I'm not gonna worry. I know my work. Like if I see it somewhere, I'll know it's my picture
Not a-
without any
not
doubt.
a beat down.
No
don't
matter
do that.
what picture it is, I'll know it's mine right away if I see it somewhere. You know,
You don't like when people mess with your work.
I don't want no one.
I've
like,
been yelled at. I've been scolded.
What
You
is?
got-
I don't want
you
anyone
got a
editing
talking
my
to?
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if I don't know, maybe like the Thursday night. I think there was the Thursday night picture that we used for this Facebook page. I think it was that picture. There was something on the wall that I think I kind of just photoshopped over or something. Don't like messing with my work.
I'm sorry if I was a dick to you, Tony, but I was very
No, no.
sensitive.
Probably any photographer wouldn't like that.
No,
too
but,
much.
Yeah.
It's like-
But someone brought something to my attention. They said they saw something, and they said, "Is this your picture?" And it was one of those times I really had to look at it, and I was like, "Yeah, I think it's mine." And they said someone was using it somewhere, but I wasn't gonna pursue it because it was so small potatoes. It wasn't like Coca-Cola was using
Right.
it, using my image.
They
I
should
said,
get a
"I'll sue the
lawyer."
shit
But
out of
just
them."
using it on Facebook, or
Yeah,
using
it was
it, like-
something, there was just something benign. I don't even really remember because it wasn't that important to me. But at the same time, like I was both flattered and annoyed at the
Sure,
same time.
I can understand.
Because I was like,
I
oh,
hope it
someone
wasn't me.
thought of my shit that was nice enough. They wanted to use it it was an article or something,
Okay.
And,
Oh yeah, when we were in Newsday, I gave you the credit.
right. And I've been published in a book also.
Oh, nice. I didn't know
with,
that.
with my name splattered all under
Oh,
the
that's
pictures,
great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the title of it right now, but I can't. So.
But it should be a credit. Again, a credit is if somebody pays me, I give them print rights. I don't worry about that.
Yeah,
And they could
Yeah.
post it all over social media. But like, especially if I do charity work or something, like, I don't do it for the thank you, but a credit's, just a.
absolutely.
I think most people give you the credit though. Like when yeah.
Well, on something like Facebook, though, I don't think they do. A lot of people just post
Yeah,
whatever they
they
feel like
just
posting.
grab it
Yeah.
and
Oh,
post it.
yeah.
I'm gonna steal this for my wallpaper. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, right.
Like you're not gonna print it any bigger than a 5x7.
Some of it's-
have at it.
Could be
I don't know.
flattering too.
I don't know how you
you
sure.
know about
What
Like
do
it.
you mean they steal it? You
No,
say,
like if
I don't.
like if they're gonna
print on
plaster it on their
landscapes."
wall, printing it out of their home printer, like go ahead. I'm not
That's-
losing money on you, really.
So that's another reason, like with my clients, like I don't know how you guys work. Like when I shoot something, I don't sell prints. I just give them everything
On a
digitally
disc
with
or
print
whatever,
rights.
or-
I love.
Yeah.
Well, I use Dropbox now.
Okay.
Right.
because I feel like it's such a better relationship for me and my client that there's none of this. I feel like I don't want to feel like I'm holding their images hostage, and it's like,
Right.
oh, you want that print of your adorable little child? That's going to be $10 more. It's like,
Oh no, yeah.
I don't like that, and that's fine for other companies. Other people have their business plan differently, and then I also don't ever want to get into a situation where, and I've seen.
So you just do
people
a flat, and here
Yeah,
you
you
get
give me
a
up
desk
front,
or
and
or whatever, right?
Yeah, and
Whatever
then you should
media.
expect this many shots, and and then some people, we have all seen where people will take a shot that has a proof or a copyright on it and try to crop it out or retouch it, and then it's like this cat and mouse game of like, how do you mark up your photos so someone doesn't use them without?
Right.
I just don't want to get into that.
It is really a lot
Yeah.
of extra.
It's like, and it's such a, I don't even want to get into it. Like now I have to follow my clients, and then I'm
Right.
not. So I feel like by the way my process, I'm dealing with people who I know right up front. It's just going to be a great start on our relationship, and then we could just like focus on a great image.
Do you use any of your images like commercially? Like if you have a picture of a bride and a groom, like, and someone like, I don't know, for a magazine.
No, I've never
article,
been in that.
Like you've never, where you would have to tell your clients, oh listen, Time Magazine wants me to use your picture. Like you've never been in that position
No.
where you had to get their approval and whatnot.
I've had a couple of my pictures used in like a book that a friend published, but they were landscape shots. They were not third parties. So
Because I wonder how
never.
that would even work, because it is technically your right
Correct.
to the picture.
So legally,
Yeah.
so this is something
The minute you
people
click the
don't
picture,
know.
it's your right.
Whoever takes the picture, unless agreed upon previously with a contract, we own the copyrights.
Right.
However, out of courtesy, so in my contract, it does list that I have rights to use it for advertising.
That's what I was getting at, more or less.
Yeah, so I have that in my contract.
Yeah.
However, I have clients who we've either discussed or have crossed that out of the contract, and there are certain reasons. I have shot people in law enforcement,
Sure.
FBI,
Yeah.
or people that are private. Sometimes
That's
I
different.
shoot people that are in the news, and they might not want these type of pictures out there. Or I'll shoot. Some people are just private about their children. I make no qualms about it. I just want to lay it out on the table first. And I will, I'll just lay it out there. Again, we all start with like a little or no contract or a little contract, and then it gets to where it's like 3 pages because things come up. And I had a newborn mother years and years ago, again, like when I was starting out, I didn't even post them. I do like posting my photos, and I'm glad when it all works out and I can post them.
Right.
But I shared her friend who came to me, her newborn pictures, and she was like very upset. I couldn't believe it. But so now I just try to check. Can you use them? Yes. Because someone used our photographer used our wedding as a sample book, and I was like so flattered.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah.
You do the photography full time? Sounds like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I work, so I have like a very, my week can be either a variety of things, and then there's some weeks I work, and some weeks I don't. Like last January, I think I did one little job. This January was like packed.
But that's your career, right?
That's I do, yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I'll also do, in that week, let's say, I might do a job that's a retouching or a logo. So I do all of that. So I can, on a given week, I could do a shoot, a retouch job, a logo, a layout for...
This different,
Yeah, like this week I worked on like a booklet that I do for someone. So that's designing the cover, designing the inside, and then laying out everything. And I do shoots. I shoot a lot of real estate.
Yeah.
Seasonally, like right now, I'm shooting a lot of real estate.
Oh, so it's like freelance. You're your own boss.
I'm a total freelancer. Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking
Hence
of
my
freelance,
tax
let's do
issue.
trivia.
Oh, I love a good trivia.
Speaking of freelance, well, yeah, it is.
What is that?
Well, yeah, it's getting late, and we we always end the show with just random trivia. It
really?
means nothing. It
You
doesn't
don't have
do
to
with
get the
anything.
answers.
Right.
People
It's
will write
everything.
it.
And then people
Yeah.
watching
Right.
comment with their answers. A lot of people
No
get
pressure.
into it, and it's just for fun.
All right.
We joke around.
People really like it.
All right, but
Wait,
you,
but we haven't seen any of. Well, I mean, we had some on the phone, but you didn't bring any
Yeah, you
photos.
didn't bring
No,
it.
no.
Oh.
So yeah, so I had some on the phone. So
All of my prints are sold, thank
But
you. No, but actually, just getting back to your question earlier about selling prints.
right.
Like I said, I sold one to Steve and I sold one to you, say, and blah
Right.
blah blah. There's a woman that lives around here. Her name is Mary, and she lives on the other side of the canal somewhere.
sure there is.
And she
Oh, Mary, right.
she got in touch with me one day out of the blue and says I
How?
through someone else. She was friends with a friend of mine, and she said, I've been stalking your Facebook page, and I love your work. I want a bunch of pictures, and I want them like 20 by 30s. And I was like, ooh, okay.
Big.
Yeah, like, size of a TV. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she ended up buying 9 prints from me, and that was a nice payday for me.
Wow.
Like, and it was cash money, and she's like, I love it. I'm gonna hang them all over the house. I'm gonna give one to my kids.
So is that how you sell your prints to your Facebook
Just
page?
word of mouth.
Well, yeah, that
really.
was what I was going to do before we got to the trivia. I was going to ask, how can they find you? You have a Kurt Knapp photography page.
Yeah, but my regular private page is fine.
Okay.
Because I don't really update my.
All right. There's
Yeah.
Christine Thomas, photography and digital arts. And do you have?
I have a Facebook page, but I haven't been posting photos on it. I should get more into
Do you,
it.
do you actively try to sell? Like you just this
No,
is
like
pure hobby.
no, not really. Like friends have seen my work and then bought it, and then somebody else will buy it.
Oh, so you word of mouth. Then.
Yeah, word of
okay.
mouth.
What,
Yeah,
Can I ask what your full time thing is or no?
contracting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
which people don't believe because my hands are clean.
Yeah,
But
mine are
I-
not.
So that's a
I do.
good boss right there. You
Uh,
pick that up.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have a friend down in Florida has a wing with all my work in it. Like one hallway of his house is only my stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, he bought a bunch of, but smaller shit, smaller stuff. But he's like, yeah, they're all you,
Nice.
and I'm like, thank you.
It's the Kurt Knapp wing.
Yes.
He is quite popular.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Kurt Knapp.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The band, is there any?
Nothing
activity or
right now.
nothing going on? Okay.
We're trying to get back and get the cobwebs off, and we'll be out there this summer.
All right.
Hopefully.
All right, cool. Yeah, it'll be great band, man. Juice, still called Juice, right?
Yeah.
Juice. All right,
Bring
cool.
the juice.
All right, so we're gonna do the trivia, and then we're gonna get the hell out of here. So again, just random trivia, has nothing to do with anything. You guys feel like answering? You can. You don't have
What?
to.
Of course we're gonna
I know.
answer.
Yeah, Kris gets into it. She
I love
she
trivia.
really gets into it. I
Me
ask
too.
all the questions, then we go back and give the answers.
Okay.
So
Oh,
So don't. Were we holding all of our answers to the end?
yes.
No, you
Okay.
can scream them out now.
Oh yeah, you can say them.
Oh,
I don't
you
tell you if
scream
you're
them
right
out
or
now.
wrong. I don't
I
give
don't
you
know.
the
You
gonna
know I
read their
follow the
answers.
rules of
Yeah.
the games. I think we all know that. Which, by the way, it's getting close.
Good.
Okay.
All right, first question. The world's busiest McDonald's is in
Oh.
what city? Multiple choice. Is it Moscow, Detroit, or Youngstown, Ohio, which is where McDonald's started?
Moscow.
it's not Detroit.
I'm
but
saying it's Youngstown, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Moscow.
Next question. 14% of Americans cannot identify which country on a map. And again, multiple choice. Is it America,
Yes.
Antarctica, or Asia?
Definitely Antarctica.
Okay. Next.
It's
Asia.
hard living with people like that.
Wait, what are the
Well,
choices?
Asia's a
The choices were America, Antarctica, or Asia.
Asia's not a country.
Asia's a continent.
So is Antarctica, for that matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm
come
going
on.
with U.S.
What is
Yes.
this?
by default.
Yeah,
these trick
USA's
questions?
got to
Shitty
be the answer.
Shitty answers.
That's a really weird
Okay,
question.
that's
It's like
like-
a trick question or something.
America,
Which
England.
She's no dummy. Tony.
I know.
She ain't no dummy.
Where'd you
I
get these questions?
Well, that's the thing. She
I'm
didn't
just
graduate
curious.
from Hicksville High School.
Hey,
That's
I
why she's so
graduated
much
from
smarter.
Hicksville High
Yeah.
School, and I had the same answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Asia,
What's the
Africa,
difference?
North America, South America, Antarctica,
I
Europe,
went
and
to
Australia.
Mercy.
Can't pronounce.
Wow.
I'm curious. Do you have the actual answers?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, it's on the
Beautiful
internet, so
dog.
it must be right.
absolutely.
All right. What year did the song Bohemian Rhapsody, what year was it originally released? Another multiple choice.
I got
Is it 74, 75, or 92?
75.
I'll agree with that.
Another music question.
Sounds good to
I'm
me.
gonna go with the 91 just because it's not obvious.
It's definitely not. You're locking up the wrong trigger.
Yeah, I'll even tell you that right now. That's
Okay.
completely.
All right.
I said,
Well, now I'm like all worried they could trick questions.
well, I threw 92 in there because that's when it was a big hit with Wayne's World. But all right,
All right.
the song. Another music question. The song, "All the Young Dudes," right? You
Yeah.
all know that?
No, I
Who
don't know.
wrote
David
it?
Bowie.
Nice.
Next question.
Oh, I don't have multiple choices on that?
No, I did not. I don't have a multiple
Oh,
choice. on
okay.
that. Would you like a multiple choice?
I would.
Was it David Bowie? Was it John Lennon? Or was it Mick Jagger?
Oh, well,
Oh, okay.
he got it right anyway.
Yeah, right.
But
Abe Lincoln. What was his middle name?
honest,
What was
honestly,
Abe was his middle
Wait,
name. His first name was Honest.
didn't you have an Abe Lincoln expert on this week?
Oh, wow.
Somebody was. You guys talked about Abe
Yeah,
Lincoln
who
a
was
lot
that?
this week.
Yeah, somebody said they're really into Abe Lincoln.
That
Who was
young
it?
man that
Quite a
made
topic.
music in his house.
I could talk
And
about
he's
that
an
for
introvert.
hours.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
he was on the radio
okay.
show. Joe Henry Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, see? I
but-
watched. See, I watched.
You did. Thank you. All right, this is a question that you should know, Sally. The Brady Bunch.
I definitely know this one.
I was waiting for like some
This-
science
I know
questions.
already.
We got this.
No, this is actually a hard question. This is actually a
I
hard
may
question.
not get it. I don't know the
Oliver,
Brady
huh?
Bunch as much.
Not
as
Oliver,
I
not
think.
Tiger, not Sam the Butcher.
All right.
All right, so the Brady Bunch was obviously a fake family. It was obviously in a fake house. However,
The house just went up for sale this year.
oh, is that right?
The outside.
The outside was not
Not
was
the
not
inside.
the inside,
It
right?
was in, it's in Studio City, I believe.
All right, but that's where this is going. This is the actual inside. In the original TV series, what was missing in that house? Something very important.
A bed.
Okay.
No TV.
You had the kitchen. You had the living room.
Yeah.
They showed the bedrooms.
The
I mean, this
kids had the
sounds
bathroom.
silly. They never showed the bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, they did show
They
the
did.
bathroom.
Okay,
Remember she
all right,
lost
maybe.
the earring, her
Right.
mother's
Right.
earring?
I'm
They never-
sorry.
they
I'm
never
not
had
up
a
on-
TV
I'm not
in
up
the
on a
living room.
40-year-old
They've
show.
had a washing machine.
Well, that's our childhood right there.
Yeah.
No.
All right. True or false?
Yeah.
In the Star Wars franchise movies,
No, I
the
know.
voice of Yoda was played by the same person who did the voices of Miss Piggy, Grover, and Cookie Monster. Is
Frank
that true or
Oz.
false?
Yes, Frank Oz.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Another true or false question.
Okay.
True or false? There are 100 dimples in a golf ball.
True.
I would say
I would
true
think
on
more.
that one.
I don't know.
True.
Say it sounds about right.
All right. Another multiple choice question. Before becoming queen, Queen Elizabeth was a mechanic, a model, or she never worked at all.
She never worked at
Never
all.
Well, she was the heir
Come
apparent.
on.
Two questions left.
Okay.
Name the state printed on a Jack Daniels label.
Oh,
Kentucky.
Tennessee? I don't know.
Oh, you might
Oh,
They
be
had
that's
a
a
right.
good
killer
guess. That's a really good
Commercial
guess.
though. Did you see their commercial
Tennessee
for the
whiskey?
Super Bowl? It was killer.
Which
I
one
would
was
say that was the best commercial to
Jack
come out.
Daniels was? I
Yes.
didn't see
What
it.
commercial would they do? I don't remember.
It just made me
No.
like I just wanted to. I was like, "Fuck America, yes."
Yeah.
Like it was like you. It was like it made you feel proud to be an American, and you wanted to live in their little dry community and be part of their community. And it was like raw and real, and it was great. And
Dry
the cinematography on it.
Yeah, with Jack
No
Daniels.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
don't.
get that one.
Yeah, where they.
Yeah, you
where
can't
they,
drink Jack Daniels
distill
where they
it, yeah.
make it.
Oh, interesting.
The cinematography on the commercial was outstanding. It was like simple mishmash of chairs on a field, and you felt like you were right out at the family house.
Those old time football players. Did you see that one? That was my
Yeah.
favorite commercial.
I didn't see that.
All right. Last
I
question.
love that you have information to back up your story.
She's good.
She is
She's
good.
good.
Me?
Last.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
No, I was talking to the cat.
Oh, I didn't thought you were talking about his football players.
No.
No, you.
Oh, okay.
True or false? Lightning never strikes the same place twice.
False.
All right. Here we go with the answers.
We all knew that one.
Yeah, you guys are good. And you even said it in unison like a good chorus. It's
They
the
tried to
it's the
do the
photography
photography.
Because we all
chorus.
had
Yeah,
Mr. Gensler for science.
I remember him. I had Del Rey. When'd you leave?
I left 8th grade, so
Eighth
I had
grade.
I was at Hicksville Junior High.
All right. Okay. The world's busiest McDonald's is in what city? Moscow, Detroit, or Youngstown,
Youngstown,
Ohio?
Say
Moscow.
just because.
It is Moscow.
Yeah.
Shit.
I
It
got
is
that
Moscow.
right.
Yes, you did. 14% of Americans cannot identify which country on a map.
America.
America, Antarctica, or Asia? Yes, the answer is America.
How many
And that's
percentage
clear
of
now.
Americans can identify that America is the only choice,
Well-
only country choice in that answer?
It's kind of
Other
like
than
It's
a
just
me-
meant for fun. Calm down.
Just saying.
Other than me and you, Bobby Donahue got that too.
All right,
It's a
Bobby
trick
Donahue.
question.
Actually, well, the other day on News 12,
Oh boy, no.
on
we're
News
in
12,
shit.
they did a every Tuesday, I think it is, they do random trivia like this, where Lily Stolzberg goes to the mall and she asks people
Love
random
her,
questions.
too.
Yeah,
She's awesome too.
yeah. She did a question. She was doing the other day with
She's so
President's
fun.
Day coming. She was asking people. She would name names. People had to guess who the if they were president or not. I couldn't believe how many people were getting these names wrong.
Really? Are you really that surprised
Yes.
at the mall?
Everybody thinks Benjamin Franklin was a
Never a
president. The man
president.
was never a president.
You know, that type of thing's
Check
been around a while.
Well, when
like,
you're on-
David
when
Letterman
you're-
used to do
Yes,
it.
that's
Remember
right.
that?
Yes.
When you're confronted and you're not prepared, I think it's harder to answer questions like that.
Absolutely,
Just
yeah.
random. Lily Stolzberg comes
Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
bushes and she's like, "Yo,
Catches you off guard.
like, what are you gonna?"
It's not. There's not $1 million at stake. Your kid's not going to be murdered.
No,
What's there
but
to be-
I'm
what's there to be
saying,
nervous
I'm saying
about?
it catches you off guard.
Yeah, but she doesn't come up to you. Name a president. She says, "Hey, would you like to ask some questions?" Kurt Knapp, sit down and relax.
Anyway,
Bohemian Rhapsody. Kurt nailed it. It came out in '75.
Yeah.
Well, so did Steve. We said it in unison. Or
Oh,
no,
did you?
he said it and I agreed. Excuse
Oh,
me.
my apologies.
He
Sorry,
gets
Steve
the
got
credit.
it. Yeah, David Bowie wrote All the Young
Thank you, I'll
Dudes.
take that one.
Bobby Donahue got that too.
Oh, did he?
He wrote it, and then Mata Hoople recorded it.
Right. Well, I think he's on it though.
Oh.
I think he's singing background or something. I think he's on it. I think.
I do
also
not
played-
concur.
The Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side, the sax solo at the end, that's David Bowie
Yeah.
playing the
Oh,
sax.
yeah?
Man,
Yeah.
wow.
Interesting.
Huh? I don't know why I know
I
that.
like
but
these
do.
little tidbits.
It's cool.
Useless information, and it's all here.
Yeah, all the good stuff gone.
Yeah. Abe all the smart
All the
stuff.
important shit's gone.
Abe Lincoln's middle name. Nobody knows it?
He doesn't have it.
Jebediah.
Oh, she just got it.
He doesn't have
Trick question. He did not have a middle
Nice.
I'm great at tricks.
Excellent.
name. You what?
Really?
Oh,
Everybody's reaching into their pocket to pull the money out.
Interesting.
Woo! Is there a website?
That's a different Facebook page.
Woo! I lost my
Oh, he's
concentration.
forgot that page.
Forget it. We're done.
let me get my phone.
Well, now you need your cameras.
Oh, do we really have to end? We're just getting cooking now.
Yeah, right. Where was I? Okay. The Brady Bunch.
Oliver.
What was Sam the Butcher? What was missing in the house? You were on the right track. They had a bathroom,
No toilet.
no toilet in the bathroom.
Interesting.
Bobby Donahue
And I've
got that
heard
right
that.
too.
Come on, did he?
Yeah.
He looked that up.
It came really fast.
Well, I'm talking about answering the questions.
I pretty much got
Wow.
it.
Well, yeah, you're on the right track. You're
I'm
almost
sticking
there.
up
You
for you,
need a
Bobby.
laugh track for that one.
Yeah, right.
Yes, it is true. The same person who voiced Yoda also voiced Miss Piggy, Grover, and Cookie Monster, Frank Oz.
Thank you very much.
He's also in the Blues Brothers movie
As a human?
as a human. Yeah.
Okay.
And he's directed.
I
a lot of
reckon
movies.
he is a human. I don't think he's Yoda in real life.
He's really a green little man with pointy ears. True or false? There was 100 dimples on a golf ball. I believe you both of the guys said yes.
True. Yeah.
True. You said false. I think.
I said it seems like there might be more. I've never
Yeah,
counted.
might be.
How many are
It's
there?
hard to count.
Depending on the golf ball, there are between 300 and 500
See?
dimples.
Wow.
For you.
Bobby Donahue got that right too. I just
Bobby
want to.
Donahue doesn't even golf. He looked that up.
I want to
He's
make the
Googling.
announcement that before we even started, he said, "Oh, good trivia! I always get every question right."
Yeah, because he's got Google on the other page.
Yeah. Cheat Bob.
I don't think he
Bastard.
cares that much to look it up.
500 would have never guessed that.
No,
That's
me
a
neither.
lot. Wow.
Before becoming queen, Queen Elizabeth was a mechanic, a model, or she never worked at all.
Nothing. But I will go
she's
with.
a kid.
I'd go with model if anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I'm
she,
trying
was,
to
she
get a
became
photo
queen
taken,
when she
but
was
that's
like
Technically
16
a
or
model,
something,
right? must
She
be.
was young.
She was a mechanic.
Bobby Donahue got that right as well.
Really?
Oh, come on.
My
How would anyone know
That's
that?
like saying that. That's bullshit. I call
Oh,
bullshit.
is she working
Now
Because
on
that's like saying the Prince Williams
she
was
was
in the
English.
military.
She worked for the
Do you
town of Oyster
really
Bay.
think that he? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No, it really.
Do you
it's- I-
really think that they like she had to work? That's like the boss's kid.
I thought you threw that in there as
I
a
love-
joke.
No,
like
no, no.
that.
These are not.
You're-
None of these questions are jokes. This is. I looked this up and
I
I
call
don't know
bullshit
where.
now.
I don't know where.
Like, who dubs them a mechanic? She gets to dub herself, whatever the hell she wanted. She could have been a
Wow.
clown, she could have been
She
whatever.
knighted herself
I
a
love it.
mechanic.
That, yes,
I love
bingo.
I'm sorry. Name the state printed
And
on
you
it.
drank the Kool-Aid. You should really be standing up for the bullshit. As a union rep, as we know, Mr. Red Shirt,
That's right. It's Thursday.
that's right. You should be like, bullshit. If she was in the union, we would take issue. She wouldn't be doing her
I'm never doing trivia again.
just saying.
But
That's
name
a
the
lie.
state printed
Call
on the Jack
bullshit on that
Daniels
too. I'm
label.
doing it next week.
Tennessee.
Tennessee is
I
correct.
said that because
Bobby
I saw the
Dunner
commercial.
got that right as well.
Tennessee whiskey, right?
Sour mash whiskey.
But you know what? I originally said Kentucky.
You did.
All bourbons from Kentucky. A lot of people don't. Yeah, but that's a whiskey. So yeah.
Last question. Lightning never strikes the same place twice. True or false? False.
False. Yeah,
Lightning
we
can
all say
strike
false.
anywhere more than once. All right, cool. Wow, this one went a little. See, it told you it flies by. We went
Yeah.
What was
over
the
it.
pretty much one?
It had no
The
toilet.
toilet.
Oh, yeah.
But they also, I don't know, did they have a shower? I mean, are we going to get that
Did
technical?
they?
Remember
Yeah,
when
because
you-
Greg
when
Brady
Marsha
had to
brushed
wash
her
his hair
100
with the
times?
orange.
Right.
What is
She
the
was in the
area where you
shower?
can
No,
put
she was in the
towels and all
bathroom.
that? Vanity?
I don't
So
know
was
if
the
they were.
shower?
Did they have a
Was
vanity?
there a
I
shower
don't
curtain?
recall.
That'd be very interesting.
Maybe when
I
Greg
believe
came
Bobby.
out and his
Yeah.
hair was orange.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there we go. That's it for us this week. Thank you guys for hanging out. You know, we went a little long because we're not going to be on for the next 2 weeks. Next week's next week is Valentine's Day, and then I have something I have
And we
to
just
do.
want to make out
Right,
during those 2
So,
hours.
can
And
you
I-
photograph that?
Yeah.
and then the
We have-
21st I have something I have to do. So
What?
I
Let's ask Tony.
All right.
Let's interview
Yeah, trivia.
Tony.
I am on the
This is now Thursday nights with Kris. What are
Go
you
ahead.
doing next in 2 weeks, Tony?
I am on the board. The Nassau County PAL has a special needs division, and we're the only PAL in the whole country to have a special needs division, and I am on the board. And there's a meeting that I have to go to that I can't miss.
all right, fine.
So it's
Translation, Hair Club for Men seminar. No? Not funny?
You tried.
Kurt would also
Wasn't
not
doing
be joining Knockem Dead Comedy this week.
Isn't that
Just-
Bosley? Bosley,
Or
yeah.
whatever.
yeah, that's right.
Give him a plug.
Not just a
Literally.
client, but not just a president
Yeah,
of a client.
Hair
That's
plus.
just a photographer.
So yeah, so we went a little extra today to give you your fix because you won't see us for the next
You're
2
welcome.
weeks. So
That's what we say. You're welcome.
You're
thank you,
welcome.
Chris. Thank you, Kurt. Thank you, Steve.
No, I meant the-
This was interesting and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
But in the meantime, you still can catch us on the Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show every Monday through Friday.
Hilarious.
Thank you. Chris is on it a lot. You guys are welcome anytime if you want. Sally and I and some other fat guy. Monday through Fridays.
How is Eric?
Eric as well. Eric as well. Thanks.
He's had a great show tonight, by the way. I'm a little jealous.
He's at the brokerage tonight. Yeah.
Are those comics really playing that show?
No.
Oh, he was just.
No, we totally made that
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
None of the lists.
No, we said
Lies,
Chris
all
Rock and
lies,
Amy
all
Schumer.
Not Chris
we
Rock,
said.
but before that you were saying like Joey Cola, like
No.
some good
Louis
locals.
C.K.
Yeah, we
no.
totally made that up.
No.
We made it up.
Sorry.
Okay, you don't know the lineup tonight.
They had the lineup. I didn't look to see what
Oh.
it was because I wasn't going.
All right.
Because the best lineup is here. But he's not at Governor's in
And we don't
Levittown
have
where
to
Kevin
drink
James
minimum.
is. That's right. The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show on govsradio.com every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Of course, you can check out Knockem Dead Comedy. We're performing this weekend. Saturday, we're playing twice. Saturday afternoon, East Williston Park Library. We're doing a game show that night
I
out
love a
in
game show.
Mount Sinai Moose Lodge, which is out East Suffolk County. If you guys are in the area, come check out our murder mystery show that night. We're also doing another game show at the Rockville Center Public Library, February 22nd.
I never watched
Go to
that.
Knockem Dead Comedy, check out our show dates, our pictures, testimonials, videos, booking information. Kurt Knapp Photography page on Facebook, Christine Thomas Photography and Digital Arts, and Steve Cacioppo
On Facebook.
escort services. So, thank you
He
guys.
brings birds. Be forewarned.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Don't forget us in a couple of weeks when we come back. Have a great Valentine's Day. So we'll see you guys. Thanks.